Guiltiness, talking about the guiltiness, pressed on your conscience. Oh yeah, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Say, woe to the dumb pressers. They lead a path of sorrow. Yo, 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 yo. Greetings. It's your brother King Simon. What's up? I want to talk about what today is. Today is what, the 4th? Yeah, today is the 4th. 4 in my book of Numerovation is one of the mental numbers. And this is one of those days that you need to pay attention to your mind. Protect your mind and keep it at a higher level. You know, sometimes when people text me, especially when they text me their full name and date of birth, or they just text me randomly, I answer. And I answer all of my texts most of the time, especially when people are texting, because I don't allow people to call me, because it's a lot of people calling from all over the world, through WhatsApp, through Instagram, through all of that. A lot of people, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm also focused, and grateful is a beautiful word to have. I'm grateful for all the people, all my clients, and all the people that have decided to do a numerovational session with me, because I honestly look at your numbers from a holistic perspective in that 30-minute session. It's very important, and I know a lot of people out there, including myself, need healing, but when I had to text a friend of mine's because it was dwelling in my mind about complementary and combativeness. How can we complement each other instead of being combative to each other? Because both of them begin with a C. And in numerology, usually what they call the keystone, or that cornerstone, is the first letter, which is the C. And C in Chaldean and Pythagorean adds up to the number 3, which deals with expression. So any words like complement or combative or combat begins with that word C. It deals with the need to express yourself. There's an expression that has to come, whether it's a loving expression, whether it's a fighting expression. It begins with that combat or compliment, even complimenting each other or being a compliment to each other. So I asked a friend of mine to research those two words, because sometimes at different intervals of times we can be very complimentary to each other, but also a lot of times it could be combative. And even when people text me and I see your birthday and I see your name, and I'm already seeing the numbers. I'm seeing things. I'm already doing the session without you knowing that I'm doing the session, and I can tell when a person is combative or has been or have a combative mathematical frequency with them, because there's certain numbers that have the combative frequency. And I've said it before, the primary numbers in numerology that can be very combative if taken there, or sometimes just naturally love a good debate, like a good conversation with us. It's the number 9, number 8, number 1, and a lot of times it could be the number 3, and in that order, and sometimes 7, in a certain order. I'm paying attention to. So when you send me a text, whether you're trying to engage in a session with me so we can complement the energy, I tell people, be mindful, because I'm born on the 1st, so I am going to be straight to the point, direct. However, I had to learn empathy, and I wish people that are born under the combative numbers would learn more empathy. Stop saying the word and start using the word and start applying, because I had to learn, even from a friend of mine who's a Cancer. She's the one that told me about this. One of my friends years ago said about this word empathy. And I had to really research that, because I know I lacked it when I finally researched it. But her mouth is combative too, although she's born, matter of fact, being born under the double one, because one is also a combative number, but her alignment is a 9, that's also combative. So sometimes people with that 9 and 1, their mouth is really the problem sometimes. And sometimes you don't always have to be combative. Sometimes it's learning how to compliment or learn to put yourself in somebody else's position, being empathetic of why that person is saying. Now, if they're coming at you outright and disrespectful, of course you're going to deal with it. I'm never going to tell you to soften up that. I'm not going to soften it up. But it's very important that when you're dealing with people that are combative, and like I said, the main numbers of conversation and combat and debates, number 9 can be one of them. Number 8 is definitely one of them. All those 7s like to be to themselves, but let's put it in the right order. 9, 8, 1, and 3. And 7s can be that when you push them over the limb. When you push them, they can be that way. Although 3 is a very joyful and jovial energy, they like conversation, they like good head play and good talk and all that kind of stuff. But I noticed that over the years, other numerologists might find it. Other numerologists might find it in another perspective. Like, everybody have their way of communicating, especially being born under certain frequencies from 1 all the way to 9. There's definitely that, So when I see what people are doing and say, like Dr. Khalid, he's born on the 12th, which is a 3, combative, very combative, and very articulate, and very passionate about what he used to say back in the day. That man right behind me there, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. But he is also born under Capricorn, which is also connected to the number 8, which is also a combative, educated, make it happen type sign and number. Dr. Ben, Capricorn. Dr. Clark, Capricorn. Chancellor Williams, Capricorn. Martin Luther King, Capricorn. Muta Baruka, Capricorn. Sister Carol, Capricorn. Steve Harvey, Capricorn. Muhammad Ali, Capricorn. 8, that 8 energy is one of the combative energy, because 8 is an eight is an earth number that likes to hold their ground, like to hold their stance in whatever they're doing. 9 is a fire number that is willing to bring that heat, but also willing to bring the peace when it's time, because it's a duality in all these numbers. 7 is the quiet one, but they do bring it out, especially if it boils up in their system and you're irking them. And plus, the flow lines of the number 7, the way it's shaped, is also a male energy, but it's known as a female number. So it's very important that when you study holistically, that's why I keep on saying holistically, I'm not just calling 8 one of the combative numbers for no reason. I've seen it be combative, and they love their debates, they love their arguments, they love a good conversation. And their 8 is always 8, 9, 1, 3s, 7s. Those are very interesting numbers that, somebody texted me to do a session, and I told them, I got a long list. And if you're in a rush, contact Lloyd Strayhorn. I ain't afraid, I'm not chasing money. Nah, I don't do that no more. I let my talents show and the gifts come back. I don't have to chase finance. It comes to you. You put your talent out there. You do your basic promotion or whatever you're doing as a promoter, and the gift comes back. So someone texted me today, born under the combative number. And I can feel the energy through the phone. And I just responded, kept it moving, say, let's just do this and keep it moving. I got no time for all the rest of the stuff. I could care less about the rest of the stuff. And that's me being a one to avoid the conflict so we can have a complimentary session when it comes time later in October. Because I have a list going into October, go all the way into November. So it's important that you know that we got to learn to be complements to each other. Men to women, women to men, business partners, complement each other. And I'm not talking about complimenting like, oh, that's a nice shirt. And no, complement the energy so it can be a flowing energy like the yin and the yang. You see on that picture there, the yin and the yang symbol. It's one of my martial arts patches. So it can be so it can be very balanced. And people who like to argue, they're really lacking balance. They're really lacking balance. People that are into constantly arguing and battling and combative all the time, they lacking the balance, because nature has the two. It has the poison, it has the cure. That's balance. And I think people, like I said, I understand. And that's why I came on this live to talk about people who compliment you and are complimentary, and people that are combative. Our dear brother that wrote this book, The Sex Imperative, Dr. Baruti. Very good book, because he speaks about the compliments and how man and woman is supposed to complement each other. It's just like the penis and the vagina complements each other. It's like the penis and the vagina complements each other. It's for the intercourse that, like Dr. Africa was breaking down. It's about the intercourse. It's the course. And like he said in the book, two men is only masturbating each other. That's not complimenting each other. Two women are only masturbating each other. That's not complimenting each other. The intercourse, only man and woman can have intercourse. Not man and man, not woman and woman. It's just like the plug and the socket. You put two plugs together, it don't work. You put two sockets together, it don't work. You need the plug and the socket. You need the plug and the socket. So that's nature. That's just what it is. Whatever else you're doing, that's masturbation. But this is a very good book. This is a very good book. The Sex Imperative by Dr. Mawalimo K. Bumani Baruti. And as a matter of fact, I forgot that the introduction was written by Dr. Laila Africa. And I was just talking about Dr. Laila Africa. So it's interesting. He says, Dr. Africa reminds us that ancient European males had four simultaneous mates, which were and are the breeder, so-called spouse; 2, the prostitute; 3, the lover, homosexual mate; and 4, the concubine. girlfriend and boyfriend sex acquaintance. Now, this is European history that Dr. Baruti is referring to and quoting Dr. Africa. Because Europe believe in those multiple things. They believe in having animals. Europe, in the sense of the Caucasian man and woman, they believe in that's why they love their dog so much. You see them kissing their dog, and they believe in those multi things. Again, going back to the point, because I could get taken off the point. I got to read this book over. But getting back to the point about complimenting, and not complimenting someone, but complimenting the energy of that person, like the yin and the yang, like the up and the down, like the to and the fro. Complimenting each other, like the boy and the girl. The compliments are very important, even when you're engaging in people. When you're engaging, even on text messages, via email, compliment, being a residual or what we call a reciprocal energy for each other, keeping the flow. It's just like the Tai Chi, the flow of the Tai Chi in the hands, one facing the sky, one facing the earth, and trying to make that and keeping that balance. Not always being combative, especially with if you're in a relationship. Men and women have to learn to not be combative, and sometimes we give in and let people talk. The bigger person always give in and say, what, but there's a time when you have to address that thing and say, do you realize that what are you doing? Are you being combative with me, or are you being a compliment to me? And we have to learn, as man to woman or woman to man, how to complement each other, in the words of being a balance to each other. All this men against women stuff, it's all an illusion to destroy family as usual. And that's what it's been doing. It's destroying familyhood. It's destroying the natural love essence. Don't tell me you love me and then still want to be combative with me. And I can't tell you that I love you if you're going to be combative, and I'm going to constantly be combative. Now, discussions and arguments might ensue. That's nature. That's what's happening in this realm. It happened, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't outweigh your combativeness against your partner. Should not outweigh your complimenting the energy. Your combativeness with your partner should not outweigh you complimenting the energy of each other, reciprocal energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Exactly what you say. I mean, even the word, even that, that's European. Even the word fucking, that's European. Like she said, that's European. That's not even compliment, because if you notice, Europe came out of the mountains of beating on women, knocking them out with a club, and then having sex. And then if you watch them have sex, they're beating each other up. It's not enjoyable love making. It's not actual pure love. It's a beat up. It's beating and banging and torturing. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you understand that we've been taught wrongly about sex and how we indulge in lovemaking. And a lot of women and men are still caught up in the wham bang, wang and bang. They want the banging, and when it's not like that. And a lot of relationships are going to destroy as they get older, because men's testosterone level, if not fostered and continue to kept built up, will diminish, and they'll have to use other practices, whether they're going into the tantric or whatever. And that's why learning tantra from people like Master Yao, who's a great brother. I think I have his book here. Yeah, I do have his book, but it's in my set. We've lost the art and the science of relationship. And that's really what this is all about, the art, and we lost relationship. all of us into our 50s, if we're still thinking that same way, we lost the art of relationship. And are we ready to relearn, erase the chalkboard of the European remote control and relearn? And I think Dr. Baruti did a great job in this book. Dr. Baruti did a great job in this book, so I do suggest people get his book, Sex Imperative, by Dr. Baruti. And the introduction is done by Dr. Africa. So even Dr. Africa lays it out. It's and we have to really take back our loving power, our true natural loving power. It's not what you see on porn. That's not it. And I only had one porn in my life, and that was given to me by an ex-girlfriend, and I threw that out like probably 10 years ago. It was always in the bottom of my box with all my other stuff, and like when I looked at it, when I actually opened it, I said, "Oh man, what am I doing with this? I don't need this." You know what I'm saying? And it's so important. Again, really research the word combative and complement. Complement, COMPLEMENT, not being willing to understand those words and ask yourself, are you combative more in your relationships, whether it's business or otherwise, or intimate relationship, or are you complimenting those people that you're around? Ask yourself that. Really ask yourself that, because I think it's time. I think it's time. My family, I'll drink to that. I didn't come on here to be deep, but I just wanted to talk about the compliment and why we need to learn how to complement holistically with each other and not be combative. Stop being combative with each other. And it's going to take work. It's going to take work. If you're not willing to put in that work, then I get it. But it's going to take work. You got to be willing to put in work. I got to prepare for my first session. So I'll be doing a session all the way till 7 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, let me see. Yes, I think I'm going to be doing, let me see. 7 o'clock is my last session. But I respect you because I respect myself. I learn from you because I learn from myself. I learn from you because I learn from myself. Be willing to tap in to your inner compliments, your spiritual compliments, so you can attract a natural compliment to yourself. Because a person that always have an answer for certain things or feel they know everything, that's somebody who's having conflict with themselves, because they feel they need to know everything. They're combative with certain energies within themselves. No one knows everything. I don't know all the hairs on my damn arm, much less all the hairs that's sticking up on my arm right now. I don't know the count on that. I really don't. So I don't know everything, and no one in this realm knows everything. And make sure the greatest knowledge you can have is not just of yourself, but learning to be a reciprocal compliment also. Learning how to compliment. I heard Dr. Ali Muhammad speak on that before too. A lot of people say, "No, self is the best knowledge." No, because in actuality, within yourself, everything in yourself is still complementing each other. The lungs are doing its job while the heart is doing its job. The stomach is doing its job. The intestinal tract is doing its job. So the self is also predicated on the interdependentness of the organs working together to become one, the balance. Exactly. In harmony. Thank you very much. has to work in harmony. But family, Asheo to all of your ancestors and all to my ancestors. Asheo to all of the saints, saviors, soldiers, scholars, healers, and killers within us all. I'm in my healing perspective right now and striving to be better. There's no perfection. I'm not striving to be perfect in that sense. But I'm striving to be better. And like Dr. Africa used to say, do the best you can, King. Do the best you can. That's all you can do. Do the best you can. In a realm that is so polluted and destructive as far as who we living under, those that are empath, those that are spiritual beings having a human experience, you got to do the best you can. Do the best you can, family. Do the best you can. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, sister. Keep it simple, soldiers. Keep it simple, stupid. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like the arguments. I don't like to be combative. That's why you don't see me doing too much of that stuff that you see other broadcasters are doing. I ain't got no time for that. You know, and many of us like that. There's many of brothers and sisters out there that ain't got no time for that. We got to maintain balance. So if there's arguments on the other side, I got to have some type of wholesome conversation on the other side. Balance. We have to maintain balance. All right? Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Please share this video. I will leave it up, share it with others, because I didn't really talk numbers. Today is October the 4th, but 4 is one of my mental numbers in that book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. That book right there, Numerovation for Mental Stability. That is one of the primary mental numbers. On the 4th day, monitor your mental health. Keep on a highly mental vibe. Listen to motivational mental speakers. And keep your mind right. All right? Take care. Be at peace, because I'm at peace.